Hello beautiful ones. Welcome to your practice, which is going to focus on things that support healthy, happy knees. If you already have healthy, happy knees, amazing. This is going to be still a really lovely practice for you to cultivate stability and support in the lower body. We are going to emphasize a balance between length and strength of the quadriceps, the muscles in the front of the thighs, the hamstrings at the back of the thighs, and the outer hips. If you are experiencing challenges with your knees at the moment, then anything that just does not feel right or too much or really invokes a lot of discomfort, then please take a step back and feel free to really modify or take rest and join in again when you're ready. You won't need any props today, we'll just get started. So we'll start seated. Come and sit down with me and we'll bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, kind of in this very strange straddle position, like you're creating a letter M with your legs. Okay, and so we'll start by mobilizing a little bit for the outer hip. And often pigeon pose can be really tricky for some of us who have issues in the knees. So this is a nice option, a nice variation. Let us now begin by just swiveling the legs. We'll turn towards the right leg first. So swivel the knees and turn the torso to the right. And you'll find yourself in a little bit of a 90-90 position. Front knee about 90 degrees. And the back knee might be 90 degrees too, or you can adjust it to a position that's more comfortable for you. Okay, so front knee 90. And now you're resting on the outer right hip, outer right thigh, outer right lower leg. So press the outer right leg and foot now down into the mat. Pressing firmly down into the mat with the outer right leg. And then instead of leaning straight forward over the knee today, we're actually going to turn the torso towards the right foot and lean towards the right foot. So we're leaning a little bit of a diagonal. So let's just take a breath or two here now, arriving in the practice. Keep pressing the outer right foot, right lower leg, right thigh, right hip down into the mat. And on the next in-breath, we'll rise, bring the hands behind us and just swivel the legs the other side, to the left, other way. Finding about 90 degrees at the front left knee now. Positioning the back leg so it's comfortable. Anchoring and pressing, rooting down with the outside of that left leg, outer left hip, left lower leg, left foot. Keep that, and then we'll lean forward over the left foot. Another breath or two, and just arriving still in the body, on the mat, in the practice, breath by breath. Next inhale, let's rise, come upright, and that's something you can repeat. Go back to the first side, take a few breaths, return to the second side. But for now, let us come into a downward facing dog. So I'll meet you there, and we'll take a knees bent downward facing dog. So a nice bend in the knees. And today, instead of straightening the legs how you might usually straighten the legs in down dog, play a little bit with me and see how this feels. Press the balls of the feet firmly down into the mat. And as you do this, lift the hips up to straighten the legs. So balls of feet pressing down and hips lifting up as a way of straightening the legs in down dog. Take another in-breath. And on the out-breath, let's step our right foot forward between the hands. Okay, runner's lunge, front shin pretty vertical, but if that's not good for you today, you can stay a little higher, or maybe you place your hands on blocks. Let's breathe in. And on the out breath, we'll just lower the back knee almost to the mat. Lift the chest, draw it forward. A breath here. It's finding a little bit of release for the front and the inside of that back leg thigh. And then when you're ready, we'll transition back to down dog. Bend the knees a little. And to straighten the legs, let's press the balls of the feet down and lift the hips up. Breathe in. And second side, exhale, left foot steps forward. Exactly the same thing, runner's lunge. Front shin, vertical. Breathing in, take an inhalation. And exhale to lower the back knee almost to the floor. Lift the chest, draw it forward. Just observing the sensations in the body. Sensations in the front of that right hip and thigh. And then we'll exhale, anchor the hands and step back again. Downward dog. And this time from down dog, let's rock forward, plank pose. And slowly lower onto the belly. We'll come up onto the forearms into Sphinx pose, so elbows under the shoulders, and let's interlace the hands. Press the outer wrists down, the forearms down, and lift the chest. Just enjoy a gentle spinal extension, gentle back bend here, heart drawing forward. Lovely, smooth in breath. And on the out breath, transition in whatever way suits you to a forearm plank. We'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, meet in forearm plank, and there's only going to be one of these today. So while we're here, let us bring our attention to the thighs and gently engage the thighs, engage the quadriceps here. Gently but firmly engaging front of the thighs. One more in-breath. And then we'll exhale and lower all the way back down to Sphinx pose. Breathing in Sphinx pose, inhale. And then exhale. Let's slowly lower onto the mat. Reach the arms back. And if you can today, bring your fingertips just to the space in the back of the leg where the glutes and the hamstrings meet. And we'll lift into a low locust pose here. So float the legs and lift the chest. And with the fingertips on this part of the back of the leg, just feel that the muscles beneath the fingertips here are firming. Right, so this is focusing a little bit more on overt strength for the back of the thigh. Those muscles come down and join into the knee. And then let us release, exhale, and we'll press back, downward facing dog. And one more time for now, bend the knees. And then to straighten the legs, press the balls of the feet down, lift the hips up. And you might find that your heels don't get as close to the mat as they might usually do in downward dog, but that's okay. This is just a slightly different way of practicing downward dog with straight legs. So now let's walk the feet forward to the hands and arrive in a forward fold. And have the feet about hip width distance apart for the next little bit of play. So we'll inhale, bend the knees a little, fingertips to the mat in front of the feet, lift the chest like a halfway lift. And keep our left hand on the mat in front of the left foot. But let's now bend the left knee and start to straighten the right leg as much as is reasonable for you today. This is a really lovely way to start getting into the outer hip and the IT band, which can be really important for the alignment of the knee, right? And then let's turn too. So we'll add a little twist, turn to the right and reach the right arm up to the sky. Easy breath here. And we'll exhale and release and switch sides. So now right fingertips stay on the mat, bend the right knee, Start to straighten into the left leg, spine lengthening forward, and then turning to the left and reaching the left arm up. Top of left thigh reaching back into space. Left heel pressing into the mat. And then let's exhale and let it go. Fold forward. Okay, let's bend the knees and come into an Utkatasana, hands to heart center to begin with, chair pose. And as you sit the hips back and down. Let's have the weight in the heels today. Don't always need to have the weight in the heels in Utkatasana. Sometimes you might choose to have the weight even over the feet and the knees a little further forward. But today we'll have the weight in the heels, so the knees are a little further back behind the toes, and we can take a little more conservative approach so we don't irritate or add to any discomfort in the knees. Okay, one more in-breath. And on the out-breath, release and fold forward. We'll come back to Utkatasana. Bend the knees, weight in the heels, hips back and down, hands to heart center a moment. And now let's bring the hands into fists, inside of hands together, fists between the knees, and squeeze the knees into the fists here. Okay, keep the weight in the heels, hips back and down, and just 3 more breaths here. I'm here with you. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And next exhale, let's let that go. Release. Fold forward. Okay, halfway lift, inhale, lift the spine, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet to rise, to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And we'll exhale, gather the palms together and draw the hands down through heart center. Okay, let's keep going. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Press the mat away through the feet. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's add to this now. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. And this time as you inhale, lengthen halfway, lift the hands to heart center and prayer again. And on the exhale, start to keep the knees bent, bend the knees a little, start to shift the weight into the left foot, pick up the right foot, and we'll reach the right foot back, step back into crescent lunge. So we're transitioning without having the hands on the mat, which is a really lovely way to build strength and stability and support in the legs. Okay, so as we arrive in our lunge, we just do 1 crescent lunge on each side today. Have the front shin vertical. And if that feels intense or a little much for that front knee, then you can back off, come up and out a little bit. And then you might choose for the back leg. You might choose to keep the back leg knee straight. Or if it's okay for your back knee, bend the back knee about halfway towards the mat. For some of us, that's really not going to feel great for the back knee, in which case you'll keep that back leg nice and straight and strong. And if the back knee's bent, take a moment, feel the front of the pelvis lifting up and the back foot firmly pressing down. And then wherever you are, breathe in. And on the out breath, we'll transition out again. Exhale, lean forward, shift the weight forward, step forward, and then fold and release the hands to the mat. Wonderful, halfway. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. Take a breath here, breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do same thing, second side, last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift with the hands in prayer at heart center. Bend the knees, exhale, shift the weight into the right foot, pick up the left foot, reach the left foot back through space and land in crescent lunge here. And if you are feeling really tender or vulnerable in the knees today, your stance might be a little shorter. That's absolutely okay, that's wonderful, okay? Front shin vertical if that's there for you today. And then choosing your medicine for the back leg. The back leg might be straight and strong, reaching back, or you might bend the back knee, lower it about halfway to the mat. So this is a really lovely way to build or to find length through that front of that back hip and thigh, as well as build strength. So feeling the front of the pelvis, the hip points wanting to lift up towards the sky, back foot pressing down. One more full breath in. And on the out breath, we play with the transition, building stability, strength, and support in the legs. Lean forward, shift forward, step the back foot forward, and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. And we'll rise to stand. Inhale, reach up. Firm the buttocks as you reach up here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's move now into a little bit more lengthening for the front side of the thigh and strengthening for the back. Okay, we'll take two different variations. So we'll begin feet about hip width in a position that feels stable for you. And then we'll shift the weight over into the right foot. Pick up the left foot. The left foot's flexed, toes towards the mat. Bend the left knee, so you're lifting the foot up behind you. Bend the knee 90 degrees, about 90 degrees to begin with. And for some of us, that's going to be what feels most comfortable for the left knee right now. So you'll keep that left knee bent at 90 degrees. And if it's available for you, you can pull that heel in a little bit closer towards the buttock. And for some of us, that deep flexion in the knees just not going to feel good. So you'll come back to 90. It's absolutely okay. And if you're pulling the heel in, pull the heel in. You might be getting a little bit of cramp, right? So that's just the body telling you that it's doing something it's not used to doing. It's good information, really good information. And from here, with the knee 90 degrees or the heel pulled in, let's lean forward and lift the leg up. So this is like a dancer's pose, but it's just a slight variation. And next in breath, we'll rise to stand, release the left foot to the mat. You might take a moment just to shake it out a little bit. Let's go second side. Weight into left foot. Pick up the right foot behind you. Start with the right knee at what feels like about 90 degrees. You might have the left hand on a chair or a wall for stability today. Flex the toes towards the floor. Maybe you pull the heel in a little bit closer towards the back of the right hip. So the back of the right thigh is really working in a shortened position right now. Concentric contraction. Finding length through the front of the right thigh. And then let's lean forward and lift the leg behind you. Next in breath, just lift the torso. Release the right foot to the mat. Okay, so we'll do one more to each side, but we'll add another iteration That might be really lovely for some of us. Okay, so shifting the weight over into the right foot again, same beginning. Pick up the left foot, left toes flex towards earth. You might be staying at 90. You might be pulling the heel in closer towards the back of the left hip, and then gently leaning forward. The right leg knee can have a little bend in it. That's absolutely okay. And you might choose to stay here, or you might choose to bring the left hand back to take a hold of the top of the left foot, left toes pointing up towards the ceiling now. Press the foot into the hand and reach the arm. Opposite arm, right arm reaches forward. For some of us, it's really not going to feel very lovely to pull the foot in with the hand to have that knee in flexion. So you'll just take a step back and keep the knee at 90 and lean forward and lift the leg. That's perfect. So wherever you are, let's lift the torso and release. And we'll change to the second side last time. So here we go. Weight pouring over to the left. Starting with the more active variation. Repetition is so good, especially when it comes to building stability and support. Keeping the knee at 90 or pulling the heel in. And then this variation of dancer's pose, leaning forward, lifting the leg. You might choose to keep this more active variation today, or point the right toes to the ceiling, reach the right hand back to the foot, press the foot into the hand and reach the left arm. And if you're holding the foot, this is definitely more overt, lengthening and releasing for the front of the thigh, the quadriceps of that right leg. And then we'll inhale, lift the torso, exhale, release. Step to the top of the mat if you're not already there. And we'll inhale, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, make your way to your last downward dog. You might just step the feet back, down dog, or you might like to take a moment to flow through a vinyasa or some movement that you might have felt was missing, right? Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog, down dog. Whatever is going to offer you a sense of balance to your practice. Take another 3 breaths to come and meet me in down dog when you're ready. When you arrive in down dog, one more time for today, and it's not to say you always have to practice like this. It's just like practicing pranayama. It's nice to practice the same poses in different ways so that we can build adaptability and resilience in the body instrument. So one more time today, bend the knees, and to straighten the legs, press the balls of the feet into the mat, really printing the balls of the feet into the mat, and lift the hips up. And then we'll lower the knees to the mat. And let's come and lay down on our backs just for one more shape today. Okay, so we'll lay down, knees bent, soles of feet on the mat. And today we'll have the feet as wide as the mat, so you can feel the edges of the mat under the soles of the feet. Turn the toes out a little bit. We're going to practice bridge pose like this. For many of us, it's really a much more comfortable way to practice bridge for the knees, and it's not going to cause you any harm or compression in the lower back. So when you're ready, press the feet into the mat and lift the hips up in this wider stance of bridge pose. Let's just be here for about 4 or 5 breath cycles. Bridge is so beneficial for healthy, happy, stable knees, right? The backs of the thighs and the hips are engaged, working in a short position. And also the front of the thighs, the quadriceps, are working in a lengthened position to help lever the hips up into space. So lots of goodness going on here for you in bridge pose. One more breath. And we'll gently lower all the way down onto the mat. Let's take a moment just to bring soles of feet together. Allow the knees to separate into Supta Baddha Konasana. Rest the hands wherever's comfortable. You might take a deeper, fuller breath, breathing in through the nose, parting the lips and allowing the exhalation to flow out of the mouth. Let the breath return to its natural ebb and flow. Noticing what's present for you in the whole body, mind, temple right now. And if you can today, you might stretch the legs out long, one at a time, and release into final Shavasana. Taking rest, integration. If it's time for you to move on, journey on into your day, then you can use the hands to support the legs and gently draw the knees toward one another. We'll gently roll over to a side and press ourselves up to any comfortable seat today. And if it feels authentic to you, you might lift the hands and fold the palms a moment. And just take this time to acknowledge again your practice, creating lower body stability and support, cultivating strong, flexible quadriceps, hamstrings, outer hips, supporting healthy, happy knees. Peace, peace, peace. Thanks for practicing all the way to the end. Every practice I offer is possible thanks to the support of my patrons. So if you'd like to continue to support me as well as access full-length practices, meditations and pranayama, then sign up on Patreon. Thanks.